They don't want it done. We ready? All right, Tina, I'm finna hit it. No, I'm saying I'm finna hit it. Good evening. That got everybody quiet. I appreciate that. If you could make sure that you turn your phones on silent or off, please. We have a very thick agenda tonight. Very packed, thick agenda. So I'm going to ask for everyone's patience, okay? Colleagues, we do have to go into executive session, and it's going to be however long you make it, all right? Now, we're going to go ahead and begin with the invocation from Brother Keith Garland of Griffith Memorial Baptist Church, okay? And then I invite Councilman Foote to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
And let us pray. Father God, we lift up our voices to you tonight, Lord, and we pray over this meeting. We pray and lift up these men and women on the council, our mayor, and others, Lord, in decision-making capacity here tonight, Lord. Pray that you would give them, by your Spirit, clear thinking and help them, Lord, as they make decisions that affect so many people. Lord, I pray for all of us in this room that we will, that your Spirit would prevail and that, Lord, we would be just obedient to you, Lord, and be those men and women that you're proud of. And Lord, I pray that you give us all wisdom, Lord, because these meetings are important. And so, Lord, I pray for your wisdom for these council members and everyone here. And we thank you, God, for hearing our prayer tonight. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Brother Garland, for that invocation. Okay. All right, so colleagues, we have on the agenda two public hearings. All of you should have received emails for one item or two items, both items, one of them, because these are not labeled. Now, okay, we have, for the public hearing, we have a long list that we need to hear. When I call your name, please come up to the microphone, state your name for the record. You will have approximately 3 minutes, okay, 3 minutes, and the clerk at 2.5 minutes will give you the yellow flag. At the 3-minute mark, the clerk will flag you with the red flag, and we kindly ask that you cease opinion. Now, just out of transparency, if you're here with a group and you're speaking on behalf of the group and they have signed up and they want to yield their 3 minutes to you, I will allow it, okay? But, and I know we got some pretty important issues tonight. So I'm gonna ask, kindly, please don't act up in here. You know I'm a teacher, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get through all of this as best as we possibly can. First up, for public hearing on Wood Street, Mr. Albert Donaldson. Welcome.
When you want me to start?
You can go now.
Okay. My name is Albert Donaldson. Councilman Kenny Stokes, do you remember me? Glad to be facing you again. 20 years ago, you targeted me. You said, I shot somebody. You was on news, it was public records. Then you had to go back and retract it. Now, here we are nearly 20 years later, standing up in front of each other. And my community do not look the same. No, it don't. As well as you would want people to think that Wood Street is a high crime area, it's not. 20 years ago, it might have been, but not now. Records showed it. Public data showed it. Public data showed that South Jackson, from 2025 to 2026, is responsible for a third of the murders. And I think a sign is the least of our worries to be changed. They go on. They go on further. They name streets. Maddox Streets, Skyline Drive, New Street, Hyde Park area. But guess what street they don't name? They don't name Wood Street. Am I speaking to somebody now? They don't name Wood Street.
Please.
Now, this is what I've been doing since you had targeted me 20 years ago. I've been released from prison, early release, completed probation in its entirety, fought for my family, lost my child to gun violence, lead voters. I lead voter effort in that same community. I work with law enforcement to bring down violence in that community. Okay. All right. I'm just, yeah,
Keep
got
lying.
30 seconds. Let me get to where I'm supposed to get to. I got 30 seconds. Let's do this like this. Councilman Stokes, other than do news conference, you have not spoke with the community on this decision to change the name. Clearly,
How would
you don't have the opinion.
How would you know?
Come on, Mr. Stokes.
Can I finish?
How would you know,
He can break my
Come on,
time up
Mr.
like
Stokes.
that? Can he break my time up like that?
Mr. President?
Okay.
Hold on.
Call my name.
I know.
And I
Let's not call any
I will
names.
respond.
Let's not call any
Can't let a
names.
dope dealer come in this place
Mr.
and
Stokes.
then act like he gonna take over.
What
Mr.
about you
Stokes.
and your son?
Mr.
Y'all
Stokes.
dope dealers.
You don't even know who my son is.
Okay,
Bet y'all
Mr.
do.
Stokes.
Bet y'all do.
Mr. Stokes. Mr. Donaldson.
My son.
You need-
Don't lie on
He
me,
got the right
bastard.
person.
Please.
Don't
You got the
lie
right
on me,
person.
bastard.
Please.
You got the right person.
Yeah, you sure got
Yeah,
the
you
right
got the right
one. My
person.
son
What
is
you
a
talking
doctor. My daughter is a lawyer. We don't have dope dealers like you.
It's okay.
Yeah. Don't let dope dealers come in here and disrupt this.
All right, so let's not call any names. Let's make our comments, please, and then move to the next person. Thank you, Mr. Donaldson. Christopher Cooper, Wood Street.
Christopher Cooper, president of the Better Man Society, also founder of Anointed Soldier. As everyone knows, I work with the community faithfully. I am fighting for our people in our community. We just had an event over there on Saturday where people got saved and delivered. I'm going back over there this week and going more some yards. I used to stay on Wood Street, so I know that it's different from over there because I used to stay there. I used to deal with a lot of children. I would say not only not change the name of the street, but yet just change the people in the community. when I was out there Saturday, they said, I asked them what they needed. They said, we need youth activity centers. They need things to do over there. So what I'm here to say, if we're gonna change Wood Street because of violence, we need to look at Lamar Street. We need to look at Jefferson. We need to look at Jackson Street, because those people owned slaves, okay? That was murder, all right? We got to understand that Lamar Street was a Confederate. It was named after Confederate. So understand that if we're going to change the name off of just violence, I don't think that's a good look, because we got to begin to change names on every street here in the city of Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper. Deborah Bent. B-R-E-N-T?
B-R-E-N-T.
Okay, thank you. There's a misspelling here. Wood Street. You may
Good
proceed.
evening. How y'all doing? I'm Deborah Brent, the acting president over there, Mid-City Neighborhood Association. I'm here standing in. I did receive a letter, and when I got the letter, I jumped right in to try to see what was going on, because I have been there over 40 plus years, and Wood Street has really changed a lot. It's a tremendous change, and I'm one of them that have been there with the city of Jackson, myself, North Ministry, Pine Lake, other churches from different areas have come in, and different things that we was trying to do at the time before Councilman Stokes was our councilman over there. Other people, Margaret Barrett Simone, and she was there a long time, and others as well after her. So Wood Street has been rebuilding with the Habitat houses and stuff have come in. We have gotten out together. We have cleaned up the streets. Wood Street, Pleasant Avenue, DeWitt, Huron, Maple Street, Winona Street, Calvin Gordonette, Ash Street, Miles Alley, Fortification, everything, Oak Street, everything up and down through there. We have been working together, diligent. When I saw the letter about Dr. Little Street being named after Dr. Little, the thing about it is, it's not about who you naming the street after. It's how long you've been there. It's the people that in the community. Dr. Little, people have lived there on Miles Alley, a house where maybe, a street where maybe 6 houses at. Okay, he has not grew up over there and worked within the community with us. I know this for a fact, because I have raised my kids and other kids there too. I have walked the streets. I have petitions on hand today. I have talked to everyone in the community. They know me by Miss Love in the community. Miss Love. My full name is Deborah Brent, but the community, some know me by Miss Brent, but the majority know me by Miss Love. I have talked to them face to face, not Facebook, face to face, and they are comfortable with Wood Street. And I asked them about Dr. Little. I respect him to the fullest, because I am a Jackson State supporter as well, alone. But my daughter grew up there. It's not where you live, it's how you live. She went to Powell, Lanier, and Ole Miss. And therefore, we are still supporters standing in the community, doing all we can to help support. If they want to take Miles Alley and name it after him, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But don't just take away Wood Street and say, because the violence, it's violence everywhere. The whole entire city. We got to change things, and that's what we're doing. But it take a whole to change. One person can't change nothing. It take everybody together to make a change. And like I said, for me to be 54 years old, I have been paving the way. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Dr. Fulton Caston. Dr. Fulton Caston, Wood Street.
I think his wife got sick. Dr. Fulton Caston here?
He's not here?
No, but
Okay.
I asked that I be allotted his time on his behalf.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? My name is Dedrick Dodd, and I've been in the neighborhood. My grandma come to Wood Street, 1968, from Kosciuszko, Mississippi. And I grew up right there in J.C. Park. You know, they changed the name to J.C. Park to W.C. Gordon. And I never understood, because I played in that park all my life, and W.C. Gordon had never come over there, did a football camp. He never came over there, took us anywhere, never came over there, bought us any kind of lunch or anything.
Please.
Now, we can dedicate that to Operation Shoestring. Yes, Operation Shoestring took care of us, but W.C. Gordon never done anything for us. And I'm not here to attack anything. You know, I'm here to find a solution. Mr. Stokes, Mr. Honorable Stokes, you represented the other side of Bailey Avenue for a very long time, and you have done it well. I'm here to give you your flowers. But on the other end, on this ward, we was part of Ward 7 for a long time, and we was overlooked then. And now we'll continue to be overlooked. The only thing that brought attention to our area is because of you. So you do deserve your flowers because you brought attention to our area. Our area needs lots of things besides a name change. I got, right here on my phone, I got footage in me when I got out of work. I just walked and just recorded my neighborhood, just watch in Town Creek, how we got trees growing up out of our creeks, how we got potholes in our streets, how we got dilapidated houses, the catwalk, all these things. You can't even go across Fortification Bridge at night. There's no lights on. We've been overlooked for a long time. And I understand what you're trying to do, Mr. Stokes. Can you look at me? You know, that's what I'm talking about. That's what men look each other in the eye. I don't come to
He
attack
said we
you.
can't respond, so you don't need to call my name, because I'm going to respond.
Hey, you can respond, Mr. Stokes. You know, I come
Okay,
respectfully.
well,
you
I'm
remember?
I'm listening to
Okay.
the bro. Because you know Wood Street like I know Wood Street.
I understand, but
we
it's-
know people talking here, people in jail.
Okay,
They
all
in
right.
prison.
All right.
You know they in prison.
I understand.
They coming up here telling people like everything is fine.
Councilman Stokes.
Children in jail.
Councilman
We
Stokes.
trying to change all that. They in prison. They done kill people.
But we understand.
Councilman Stokes.
Hold on.
Ma'am,
Hold on.
please.
We can all
Please.
just sit down for a minute. Mr. Stokes, the only thing I'm saying is, you've been knowing for a long time. When you was not our ward, when you was not over our ward, you took care of Georgetown very well. I know as I can go across Bailey Avenue, and you took care of Georgetown. The creeks over there in Georgetown, it look good. The kids can go to the park over there in Georgetown, Mary T. Jones Park, all that. They can do all that over there in Georgetown. But when you come over to Wood Street, when you come over to my neighborhood, to my area, you can look and see we got little to no attention. We never had no attention. It always been us against everybody. So that's the mentality that we grew up with. But one thing about it, you know this, you know it been some good people, some great people, some great citizens that came from that area. You know this. You know this. All the alums from, that's right, Chief Vance come right there out Wood Street. All the alums that's over there at 833, they come right from Wood Street.
So I
we
didn't
ask
take the
you-
kids from Wood Street on trips.
That's
I
your
didn't
time,
feed
sir.
the kids on
Yes, you
Wood Street.
did.
That's your time.
Tell the truth. Because you
Yes,
got
you
a person
did.
back here don't know how to
Listen, any more outbursts, we're gonna go into
Let me say
recess.
this, ladies and gentlemen, before I bag on my
Thank
seat.
you.
I don't-
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that's 3 from Wood, now we have 3 others, right?
No, we have a lot more. Dorothy Davis, Mrs. Dorothy Davis, Wood Street. Hey, Miss Dorothy.
Well, hello. My name is Dorothy Davis. Most of you all know me because I am a community leader. Have not just been a community leader where I live, but over Jackson. I work with Virgil Lindsay, Margaret Barrett, Kenny Stokes. All of these has been my representatives in the area. And now Calvin Parkinson. So I work all over the city. I know I'm gonna go against the grain on this, but this is really how I feel. Now, on the upper end of Wood Street, they did talk to everybody, but nobody approached us. And you all know me from Wood Street. You know me, but nobody approached me until I got a phone call about the Wood Street being changed. Now, I agree with a lot of the things you all said, but I do not see a problem in the name being changed, simply because Dr. Little, which was a graduate of the best high school in Jackson, Mississippi, which is 833. Lee Vance came from that area. I went to school with him and his sister, so I know them. But I'm saying Dr. Little is no different. He did come from, I did not interrupt you all, and I would appreciate if you don't interrupt me. Thank you. Now, as I was saying, I'm not saying that my word holds weight, but I am saying I don't see anything against it being changed because he was a graduate. I mean, he was the teacher at Lanier High School. He went on to Jackson State, and we know they have even been to Hollywood under his direction. And so the name change is a symbol of us moving forward. My house was built in 1921 in this area. So it has definitely been there a long time. And my aunt lived in that house first until she died. She moved there in 1957. I moved there when Katrina came through, and I've been there ever since. I'm not fighting against the grain, but it's more than one side to any story. And so this is why I'm saying that I am for, and some people that I talk to in the area, is for the name change, just because of who he is. And I understand most, like I said, I've worked with most of you all in the area. And so I'm just asking you to look at it. It's not taken away from what Wood Street stands for. Because like you said, 20 years ago, it was a mess. It was only 2 houses on the street, 3 houses on the street I live on, which is Jessamine. It was only 2 houses that was worth standing there. But Habitat did come in, build it up, and making it look better. Operation Shoestring has came in, and she said, my time is up, but I just wanted to let you all hear from both sides without arguments. Thank you.
Ms. Davis, thank you. Mrs. Geneva Johnson, Wood Street. Mrs. Geneva Johnson, Wood Street.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Dorothy Lynn, and I have lived on Wood Street.
Hold on one second,
50
Ms. Dorothy. Did you sign up for
Yes,
the
I
public
did.
hearing? Spell your last name?
Lynn, Lynn. First name Dorothy.
Okay.
Okay. We reside at 1605 Wood Street. We've been there for 56 years, and I just feel uncomfortable having my street name changed for someone that I do not know. And no one had told us anything about this change. And when we received the letter, it was dated wrong with the wrong date on it. And when we finally got to speak with the people about it, I haven't spoke to one person on that street that wanted to change the street address, either change the name of the street. So I have no idea where this young lady came from, because Jessamine is not on Wood Street. Jessamine runs into Wood Street. So I thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Geneva Johnson. Geneva Johnson. All right. Now, colleagues, that wraps up the Wood Street public hearing. We now need to go to item 12. Adoption of the ordinance?
Oh, no, we're not adopting tonight.
We're not?
That's Geneva Johnson.
That was just the Wood Street part. We have Lily Street after this.
That's Geneva Johnson.
Good afternoon. To the council personnel. I'm here and president of the Georgetown Preservation there. And my name is Geneva Johnson. I forget that all the time. Okay, and I'm here to talk about some things in our neighborhood, Precinct 3. I've heard about the Wood Street.
Ms.
I
Johnson,
don't dare touch it.
one second. Can y'all please keep the door closed? Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
Okay. I want to talk about some of the vacant houses that need to be torn down in the Georgetown neighborhood. We have a lot of them over there. And I also found out that Georgetown goes into precinct, was 7? But it's 3 now, 7 and 3 together now. Okay, I have not been over there. Sometime I pass through there, but not just going in there looking, because I had so many in our neighborhood that needs to be torn down, have been numbered, and some of them going back to 70s, and they still haven't been torn down. And I also wanted to see, can they come out, name them, and get them out of there, because we having a lot of fires in there. We had a lot of people coming by, sleeping in there all night long, doing any and everything, setting them afire, and just doing whatever they want to. And then I want to talk about our street. They came in there and they put the new meters in there, and they did not fix the street back. We had a beautiful street, but now, I don't know what it is. It's just, we got humps and lumps, and sewer hole has not been fixed, and they say they were gonna come back and do it, and they didn't do it. And we have to live with that. And when you're a senior citizen, and you gotta buy a tire because you done hit that pothole that you don't know about, you can think some names. And so my whole thing, I would like them to come. They said they was gonna fix it. They did not complete it. Okay, so we had them out today. Somebody was out today looking at the gas or smelling gas in the area. But that's one of the things that we're having over there. We're also having a lot of gun firing, just random shooting. They're shooting from our street into the Gulf Coast, and that's dangerous, really dangerous, because you never know who's running out there. We got a lot of problems in our Georgetown area, but you gotta start working. If it's number one, you gotta do something. That's what they say every day. See something, do something. And we sit here and talk and argue, that's why we can't get anything done. So you have to do it if you have to be just one. And I also wanna talk about the, after they get through doing our streets, I want them to come out there and do something about that fence. I was supposed to be here last week, and I took the men out there, the cameramen out there, and they saw them snakes. And they said, oh, let's get out of here. But they were out there, and they were just chilling. And lizard, we live not too far from the zoo, so we get all those little animals in there. And they're there. So what we're trying to do now is somebody do something for that fence, put a gate so we can go back there and clean it up, and we'll be fine. So I appreciate hearing about this, but I think it'd be a good idea to name that street Wood Street after Dr. Little.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. So my understanding is that there is no move for adoption tonight.
No, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna hold item 12.
Mr.
To the
President,
mayor,
Mr. President,
One second, Dr. Bishop, how you doing? Yes, sir.
President, I think it's extremely important, because this is a meeting of record. A dope boy said my son sold drugs. And people want to believe dope boys in poor neighborhoods. I'm a corrector, record. My son is a medical doctor. My daughter is a Harvard lawyer. My other daughter is at a black university in the athletic department. We don't deal with drugs, and we don't deal with dope people. And we don't have people come up here talking like everything good whose sons in the penitentiary for life.
Mr. Stokes, thank you. Okay. So we're holding item 12. Now, colleagues, we got to go back to item 2, public hearing for Lily Street. First, we have Ms. Johnny Griffith.
Members of the council,
Okay, to Councilman Parkinson's point, for those of you who are here for the public hearing for Wood Street, we are holding that item and are not voting on Wood Street tonight. Okay, Mr. Stokes does not want to take that up tonight.
We weren't scheduled to vote on it tonight, Mr. President,
It's on the agenda,
but it's not scheduled to vote, and we told the clerk.
okay? The item is tabled for another time. It will be posted with that particular meeting, so just watch. The clerks will put the agenda on the thing. Thank you. All right, so now we're gonna do, thank you, Mr. Parkinson, we're gonna go into the public hearing for Lily Street. Ms. Johnny Griffith.
all right. Good afternoon, council members, mayor, Mr. Mayor, and all of you that wanted to take part in our process, in the process. I want to speak on behalf of Damian Muriel, that I've known since he was a little bitty boy. Damian's grandparents were friends with my grandparents, and both our parents lived in the same area, Clinton, Mississippi, which is closer to the Brownsville community.
Go ahead, Ms. Griffith.
Okay. In reference to Damian, to just go back, we as children, our greatest teachers are our parents and the community that we're living in. Those are our greatest teachers. Now, the parents that he was in, the individuals that he was influenced by were entrepreneurs. Back during the time when I was born, and I'm a 1950s baby, though I don't look like it, I am.
You sure don't.
Now, but Damian, there were 7 people on the road that we lived in that owned their own property. The Johnsons, the Robinsons, the Jamesons, the Ellises, the Nichols, and the Grigsbys, which were my family. So that's what he knows, ownership and entrepreneurship. Community economic development and public safety is our basic concerns here. These are 2 major concerns to the citizens in my area. Without these 2, our communities have different agendas. Some in our communities have different agendas to mobilize the community. Some want to mobilize it for profit. Damon is a community-minded person, and he was reared on a certain diet. Baby food is what we're reared on. We start out to eat. Now, his baby food had different ingredients in it. He was fed love for thy brother, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, respect yourself before expecting someone else to respect you. Damian's grandparents and my grandparents were friends, church members. They were service members, property owners, farmers, who assisted one another. This was our form of community economic development, where one individual helped the other. In cultivating the communities, sowing seeds the seeds that had ingredients such as, you can do it, let's help each other. Damian fully digested that culture. I witnessed his example in character development in my math class, where I taught him at Johnson Elementary back in the early 80s, and also at Blackburn Middle School, where I taught him algebra there. He was a go-getter. He worked hard. But he was one of those students, when he finished his work, he wanted to go help his friends. And sometimes that was good, and sometimes it wasn't, because you wanted him to work independently. But Damon was not that person that wanted to do that, and that's not a bad thing. Now, to move it right along, to bring a business to your neighborhood where you were reared, or your high school area where people love you and you love them, makes a big difference. We're offered monies to move our businesses to different areas, but he chose not to. And I can respect the fact that he did that, put his business in the area where people look like him, act like him, and wanted to be better people. Time has run out, but the best thing that I can say is, when you're educated in an area, come back and revitalize that area before going someplace else.
Thank you. Alson McGee, Second Temple Church of Christ, Lily Street.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am Alvin W. McGee. I'm here on behalf of Second Temple Church of Christ Holdings USA. We are against this renaming Lily Street. We received a notification Sunday, supposed to be form, I guess is what you call this. We got 2 pieces of paper that was dropped in our mail slot. One dated 4/2/2026, the other saying that a hearing would be scheduled for March 21st. So that's impossible there. Then we got a second one dropped in the mail slot that says 4/14/26. And I'm here today, said that we're going to rename Lily Street. No one has contacted us at the church. I believe, if I'm correct, that we are supposed at least 15 days to give some kind of input somewhere. We had not had any input whatsoever in this decision. We're a small congregation. This church was founded in 1913. We are in the process of getting on the register with the Department of Archives and History. This move would kill that process. We need to kill this process. We're a small congregation. Most of us are seniors, as I am, but we are an inclusive church. We have children, grandchildren, various generation of children in that church. Roughly, we got about 50 members, but we're also on Facebook and YouTube. There we have roughly, we had, over 600 followers on YouTube. Our pastor is Elder Perry McNeil. He's our pastor, our leader, and our messenger. And we make everything plain to everybody. He teaches the Bible plain so everybody can understand it and give. That's why we're growing on Facebook and YouTube. So we need to stop this process. This will damage us from an economic standpoint and from a historical standpoint. If this is allowed to go through, it would stop our progress in trying to have us put on the register. As you know, doing this, it's a long process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. But we would appreciate it if you would kill this so-called, whatever it is, things coming up. And we thank you very much for listening to what we have to say.
Thank you,
I'm
Pastor.
sorry, are there any questions about anything? No. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Enoch Sanders, Lily Street. Mr. Enoch Sanders, Lily Street. Okay, Dr. Johnny Griffith has already spoken. Reverend Ernest Smith, Lily Street. How you doing, sir?
I just want to say good evening to everyone. It is a privilege to be here to speak on Lily Street.
Hold on one second. JPD, I'm going to ask that you keep the door closed. Keep it closed. Thank you.
Yes, I'm
Thank you,
Pastor Ernest Smith of True Believers in Christ MB Baptist
Hold
Church.
on, Pastor.
And
No, you stay there. Sorry about that.
it's just a privilege to be here to speak on the street because I was born and raised on Lily Street, Brown, and Flora Street out there. I had the opportunity to be raised out there, and then I had the opportunity to move downtown. I don't see anything wrong with changing the name or adding to the name. It's not going to make any difference. It still is going to be the community. And my prayer for those of us who are here living in Jackson and working from the city of Jackson will be do their best to solve some of the problems that's going on over there. So I just want to say, it's no problem with changing the name or adding to it. I always go back into that neighborhood to energize myself from how great it was over there. It do need a change over there. The streets are blocked off with trees laying down, holes, the property is overgrown over. So I think a change of name or add a change to the name will make a difference. So let us not argue about the changing of the name of the street. Let us just do something about fixing the street. That's all I have to say about it.
Thank you. Mr. Enoch Sanders?
Yes, my name is Enoch Sanders. Great to be here today. I'd like to say something about the changing of the names of these streets also. For one thing, I'd like to say that these street was named and when most of us in here wasn't around, but it wasn't no blacks in control or anything like that. In other words, our slave masters, they was the ones that named these streets. They had to do with all of that. They ran them down, they turned them over to us. Now it's time for us to rename them, fix them up, and forget about that old time. Well, not really forget about it, but we don't want to keep on thinking about it all the time, because actually Wood Street had a very bad name, you know, as what a lot of people would say. Lily Street was, you know, wasn't nothing no better because it ain't hardly got no houses or anything on it now. It's good for things to have a fresh start, good fresh name, and yes, they should have a makeover also, should fix them up, fix the streets up, you know, do some things to the street to make them, to show that there's a change in it now. It's not the same old rough and tough streets that used to be, you know, different things on the streets that we don't really want to talk about, you know, danger, violence, drunkenness, drugs, whatever. It's a change now, though. And it's good to change the names and everything with it and try to forget those things that we used to do and the way we used to fight among each other on these streets, that we can forget the clubs and different things that we used to do. Bring on new things, peace, working in together, trying to make some money, trying to progress in life, trying to make it so that Wood Street would be one of the greatest streets around. It is peaceful, quiet, like it is now. It's like that. But the names, they carry bad names. And that's what it's all about. And we, you know, it's good to forget some of those names, some of the people that died on the street. We don't forget our dead brothers and sisters, but we don't want to keep on remembering with vengeance and things of that sort. We're trying to keep the killings down. Got a new police chief in, got a new mayor in. We're trying to work in together. All we can do to make things work is what it's all about. And we thank Kenny Stokes for everything, because he's really sticking things up and making things work. Thank you all.
Thank you. Next, we have Phyllis Harris Manuel, Lily Street, Phyllis Harris Manuel. I know we got an email from her. All right. Sheila Baker. Is she in the email also? Okay. Okay, Mr. Charles Harris, I see him here.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm Charles Harris, to the mayor and council. I'm a product of Lily Street. I was born on Lily Street. During that particular time, during the 40s and the 50s, if you were born anywhere in Jackson or Georgetown, you were born on Lily Street because there was a midwife named Miss Penny. She delivered most of the children that were born in that particular area. And if you grew up in West Jackson being black, you were born at Jackson State at the infirmary. So Lily Street has this history. Lily Street is a great street. My family grew up on Lily Street. We loved Lily Street so much until my sibling, niece, and I, we purchased 10 pieces of property there on Lily Street. Keep it clean, keep it cut every week. But we have 2 pieces of property standing now, and one will be demolished within 60 days. My sister Vera Cahey, who's here tonight, she loved Lily Street so much until she could have gone any place. But for 20 years, she had a nursery on Lily Street. So Lily Street has great root here in Jackson. As I said, you were born on Lily Street, it has a great history, and a lot of good products came from off of Lily Street and in Georgetown. Lily Street has always had business. Had a barber shop, we had a funeral home, restaurant, juke junks on the next street over. So we had it all. So our concern and my concern is that why change? Just because you have a business, does that mean you have to change the neighborhood? If you have no history and it don't have no ties to a neighborhood, it doesn't mean anything to you. You see, you have to have ties. You have to have love for something. And that's what we have. And that's what we have for Lily Street. I might not use my whole 3 minutes because my sister has something to say. We don't want to be redundant. The only one problem we may have had being on Lily Street, because there were 3 sets of Harris on Lily Street within that one particular block. And believe it or not, each of those houses had 10 children. So if someone got in trouble, they said, that Harris boy did it. So you can see that how at that particular time. During the day, I have a sister named Clementine. This is where, during the 60s, this is where we gathered to participate in the civil rights. Angela Davis, I don't know if any of you remember her or not. She was an advocate of civil rights. She was a future for a good while because they hung out at our house getting organized 2 or 3 different times. The FBI came to our house thinking my sister was Angela Davis. So that is the type of history that we have from Lily Street. So I'm against the changing of Lily Street. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Next, we have Dr. Wanda Cahey. Dr. Wanda Cahey. And then we'll finish up with Dr. Karen Bishop.
I bring you greetings.
Greetings.
I am Wanda Cahey. I'm the niece of Charles Harris and the niece of Dr. Karen Bishop and the daughter of Mrs. Vera Harris Cahey. They are the children of Reverend Wilson Douglas Harris Sr. and his wife. They had property that they purchased, their parents, in the 1950s. And those 3 properties are still in the family. So we have 3 generations of the Harris family who now own property on Lily Street. Now I'm gonna tell you some famous people who grew up on Lily Street. Lou Mallett, she was the first African-American female firefighter with the city of Jackson. Jesse Harris, as my uncle stated, there were about 4 families of the Harrises who lived on Lily Street. Jesse Harris, have you heard of him? Sure, is presently hanging in the Fannie Lou Hamer Library on Albemarle Road. He lived in the residential complexes there with the Jackson Housing Authority. And because of his significance in history, he was a freedom fighter, student at Lanier High School. The Jackson Housing Authority was able to renovate not only the Golden Key and Vision Center on Albemarle, but the Fannie Lou Hamer Library, which is inside of that, but also the residential complexes around that. We also had Florece Harris, my aunt. She is presently deceased, but she was a student at Lanier High School, and she participated in the March on Washington, 1963. She, along with her fellow classmate, Mr. Chin, are featured in the September 1963 issue of Life magazine. Look it up. So those are 3 individuals who are worthy of having their name on Lilly Street, the place where they called home. And if I have any time left, I'll yield that to my aunt.
She'll have her own time. You want to finish up, or you want? All right.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Karen Bishop.
Thank you. To the mayor,
Hold on one second, Dr. Bishop. Chief Johnson. Thank you. Go ahead, Dr. Bishop.
okay, to the mayor, president of the council, and member of the council, and to those of you who are in attendance. I am Karine Harris Bishop. I'm here to oppose the renaming of Lilly Street. Lilly Street is over 75 plus years. Why change? This street is very dear to me, to my children, to my grandchildren, to my nieces, nephews, and other individuals who grew up on Lilly Street. The families that reared their children on this street were diverse in their occupation. There were professional, domestic workers, ministers, and blue-collar workers. The children who were reared on this street, along with myself, as a youngster, teenager, we gathered each Sunday afternoon after church and after dinner to engage in baseball activity on Lilly Street. Why? Because there were no parks for little black children who looked like me and the other children on Lilly Street. This was during the Jim Crow era. This street, we had no parks. Black children baseball games were designed by themselves. And I'm sure some of you have done the same thing. The same children who gathered each Sunday to play baseball on Lilly Street were the same children who were placed in the paddy wagon of Jackson, Mississippi during the Civil Rights Movement. We were loaded into a garbage truck, taken down to the livestock pavilion and placed. These were the same children who marched on Washington, as Charles just alluded to. The children who grew up on Lilly Street graduated, yes, from Lanier High School because they grew up in Georgetown. Others went to various colleges throughout the United States. Lilly Street has produced numerous professional school teacher, lawyer, and etc. Therefore, the history of Lilly Street has contributed significantly to the history of Georgetown. There is a quote that has often been quoted that states, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." Why change Lilly? Why change Lilly? Change Bailey Avenue. Change Woodrow Wilson. Change State Street. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bishop. Now, colleagues, that concludes the public hearing for Lilly Street.
President, we're gonna vote on that one.
We are?
No, Mr. President, Kirk looking to be fun. Mr. President, I've listened to everything everyone has had to say. It's a hard job, but we deserve the progress. That's only 4 houses on Lilly Street. 4. out of 40-some parcel numbers and everything else. A man put a funeral home and other things in there, put millions. We're trying to get people to bring money into these areas, build these areas up so we can move people in. If I gave you a house on Wood Street, you wouldn't even take it because of the dope boys who they had coming here and everything else. We only changed Wood Street from Woodrow Wilson to the Old Negro Fairgrounds. We're trying to expand that part. The other part of Lily Street is still Lily Street. We even want to make an honorary for the families, Harris and others. But we deserve to look like Fundry and other areas of this city. You can't allow us to look like we're a third world country because you're saying we're poor. They're not gonna invest money into areas where dope boys are running it, and you got all kind of negative activity. Ride on Lily Street and see for yourself, then come back. Ride on Wood Street and see for yourself. Then you can see what we're trying to do. The south part of Wood Street is already barricaded because there ain't a single house or anything there. Go see for yourself. Thank you.
So are we gonna move for adoption?
Oh, no.
No, so you're gonna hold your item?
Well, I told Ms. Bishop we wouldn't vote on it, and I didn't. But we're gonna vote on these items. So y'all can come back all you want. But the citizens in these poor neighborhoods that deserve to have something that they can leave for their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. These areas need help. They need help. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so items 11 and 12 are tabled, okay? Now, colleagues, we need to go to public comments. We have, I told y'all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 non-agenda item public comments. The public comment rules are the same as the public hearing for the street renaming. You get 3 minutes. Call your name. All right, when we call your name, we ask you come to the mic, state your name for the record. You will have 3 minutes. At the 2.5-minute mark, the clerk will flag you with a yellow flag. Once your 3 minutes are up, you will receive the red flag, and we kindly ask that you cease comment at that time, okay? First up, we have Abby Taylor, Veterans. Abby Taylor. Watch your step. If you signed up for public comment, please kind of transition this way to the microphone. After her, we have Ms. Jean Tucker. She went out to come around. Oh, that wasn't her? All right, so Abby Taylor's not here. Ms. Jean Tucker. After that, you have Shalaris Thrasher. I hope I pronounced that correct. And then Priscilla Teal, and then Donnell Lee.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Jean Tucker Johnson, and I am one of the president of Wingfield West Subdivision. Another one is Stephanie Chapman. She's also is the president. But we're here because there's a street in our community by the name of Wood Glen. On Wood Glen, a company has set up an entire company on a resident street. He has bought 3 lots. 2 of them has houses on it. 1542 and 1543 has houses. And 1534 It's a vacant lot that he purchased, and that's where he has all of his fleet vehicles. Some is running and some is not running. And at 1542, he has a whole lot of his equipment and all of that in front of the yard. And not only that, his fleet vehicles have Madison County tags on them. So we're trying to figure out, how did a company like this move into our residential neighborhood? And every time we ask questions about it, the response that we get is a process. But this is where we live, this is where we pay taxes and all of that. And you're gonna let a company come in, he got vehicles on the streets, and he has vehicles parked across the yards and everything. You know, this is where we live, and we try to, we have pride of ownership in Wingfield West. But it seemed as if, I'm just gonna put it out there, it seemed as if the city don't care. So we want some answers. We are taxpayers. We want answers. I put in the report sometime in January. We into April now, and they still saying it's a process, but they haven't given us anything. We don't know anything about what's going on with the case, and we don't think it's right. And we're here to get some answers. And for those of you who don't know how it looked, I even took pictures and brought pictures for you guys. So do y'all want to see the pictures?
You can hand them to the clerk, please. It's Ward 6.
Yeah, I'm in Ward 6. It's a construction company, a roofing company, and all of that. So I don't think we're being treated right. We're not being treated fairly. We can't get any answers, and we deserve answers. We deserve answers. And the neighborhood is not zoned for that. So how did they get there? I don't even know if they have a permit. We don't know that. We don't know anything. And the information that we do have, like all the vehicles titled in Madison County, we done the research ourselves. We done the research, not the city of Jackson. We done the research. So we deserve some answers.
You brought enough copies for us to keep?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can keep them.
All right,
They
thank
yours
you.
to have.
Okay.
If you need some more, I can get them for you.
I know you will. Thank you, Ms. Jean. Shalaris Thrasher. Shalaris Thrasher. Ms. Priscilla Teal. Humanity 2020.
Good evening,
Good
council.
evening.
Last April the 7th, I presented the council with a Humanity 2020 crisis group to intervene with the city of Jackson. And I mentioned the rate of crime in the city. And I called Friday, and I was under the impression when we were last here that my organization would be on the agenda for discussion to present to the Public Safety Committee. And we found out that the item is not up for discussion, but it will be placed on the Public Safety Committee. Now, I want to know, the last Public Safety Committee meeting was December 19, 2025, and that discussion was about infrastructure. And a public safety meeting prior to that was in 2022 with COVID. And we looked at the agenda for the public safety meeting. So I'm just trying to figure out, with the rate of crime in the city of Jackson, why is an organization such as a crisis management group is being pushed to the back? And can you all tell me, how do you all see that? Because we now are in over 20 homicides in the city of Jackson, along with property crime. And we know right now the dangerous areas in the city of Jackson is South Jackson, West Jackson, and Central Jackson, which includes downtown. So I want to know, what do you all plan, and how soon do you all plan on having a Public Safety Committee meet to discuss Humanity 2020 Management Crisis Group?
I chair the committee, and I've been talking to the CAO about it and the clerk of council, and we will be in touch because we have other things lined up for that committee. We don't just meet just to meet. But I do believe we've met more than just the 2 times that you said.
Well, I think just it needs to be something of urgency. This is Chris with Better
We know Chris very
Better
well.
Society, man.
We know
with
him
Better
very
Society.
well, but
And we normally go around because of the crisis that happens in the city of Jackson. So I'm just saying, the Humanity 2020 Crisis Management Group offers a great plan for the city of Jackson. The other issue I would like to state is the 1% sales tax that from 2014 to 2026 has accumulated $195 million. And that money has gone to certain areas, well, let me just say to the citizens of Jackson, the reason why the 1% sales tax was created was to fix the city's street, roads, and bridges. As of today, only certain or selected neighborhoods are being fixed. Right now, the district, Eastover, Fondren, and Belhaven are the only communities that have been fixed with this money. Now, I was here February the 24th. I did a public records request for those documents to see how much money has gone into the city. As of today, I just want you all to know, there have been $5 million supposed to have been allocated to just
Ms. Teal,
West Jackson. Yes, sir.
that's your time.
Okay, just so you all know, money has not been issued correctly and selectively in the city of Jackson.
Next, we have Donnell Lee, abuse. Donnell Lee. Donnell Lee.
And I want to address the mayor
Lee
in particular.
Lee Donnell.
Lee Donnell.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Stokes is smiling. Mr. Hardley, I'm in Ward 5, but I didn't come here. I wear my welcome. I come here to address Mr. Hardley and the mayor. The City of Jackson Community Improvement Center has harassed me for 20, 30 years, and I'm sick and tired of it. Mr. Stokes said a long time ago, 20, 25 years ago when this stuff got started, he said, seems like y'all bringing the same people in all the time. And that's true. I was one of the ones who was drug in then. You got complaints against my property. And consistently for the next 20, 25 years, I'm one of the ones who are drug in. So this past January, as cold as it was, I got out and tried to get a good start, head start, because I said that I want to beat them community improvement people from coming over here bothering me. One day in January, on a cold day, while I was clearing trash, garbage cans out in the street and everything, I left and went to break. When I got back, the community improvement man had put a thing on my property, come to court. Well, it was so cold in January that on the court day, they had to reschedule the court. They closed it down. So he put it for February. Well, I'm out there doing all the work. You got to reschedule it, and I'm doing the work. And so I told him while I was out there doing it to keep him off of my back. I told him I'm a senior citizen, I'm 76 years old. I told him that I have cancer. Excuse me, I don't want the people in the public to know it, that I'm very sick. But I told him I would get out there and do the work before I kiss his butt. Because I ain't going to do that. I'd be dead in my grave. I ain't going to kiss his butt. But he has rode me from January out there in all that inclement weather. He done rode me. He has ridden me, rode however. And this is April now, or May. In February, when I went to court, I asked the judge to allow me some time because I was sick and that I had other properties. That people over there smiled in the judge's face. Oh yeah, all he got to do is ask for more time. But they lied. They done given me 2 more things to come to court. I got a community, what does this mean? They have cases taken me to court on this one, and I got this permit. Y'all see it. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Hartley, will you make them people leave me alone? I'm a very sick man, but I hadn't used that. I've been working and hustling. You look at the pictures, I've been hustling hard to keep them off of my back, and they keep trying to make an example out of me. And so then, I'm glad to be alive. The VA has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on me to keep me alive.
Mr. Donnell,
And I'm very glad about that.
thank you.
But y'all city people, y'all got problems with y'all stuff just like everybody else.
Thank
And
you.
your city people, I ask y'all to make them quit picking on
Mr.
me.
Donnell, thank you. All right, colleagues, we're going to move to consent agenda.
All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below.
So moved.
There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately.
So moved.
Second. All right, it's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor? 7-0, thank you. Claims, item 13.
Dr. Norwood.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get all that. Introduction of ordinances, item 8.
Ordinance of the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi, amending Chapter 2, Article 4 of the City of Jackson Code of Ordinances relating to departments.
Is there anyone from the administration going to speak on this?
Mr. President, Peter Tewison, CAO. This is the formal introduction of an ordinance. It will not be voted on tonight. It has to be held for another meeting. But this ordinance, the revision was made to formally eliminate the Parks and Recreation Department. We've done that budget-wise with the adoption of the 2026 budget, where we took what used to be the maintenance of the parks and placed that in Public Works. And in turn, we have taken the activities of Parks and Recreation and placed those in Human and Cultural Services. And so this ordinance is an introduction that formalizes the actions that we have taken internally. I will remind the council that you actually voted in September and gave the administration authority to combine departments as the administration deemed fit for cost savings and efficiency purposes. That's what we have acted under, but now we need to formally adopt what we have been doing, both budget-wise and how we have been acting. Again, tonight is merely an introduction. It'll be taken up at a meeting in May for consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Colleagues, any questions about this introduction? All right, item 9.
Ordinance of the Jackson City Council establishing a temporary moratorium and regulatory framework on the development and expansion of data centers within the city of Jackson.
All right, colleagues, as I mentioned yesterday, I spoke at length about this. This basically creates a regulatory framework, and it kind of slows down the process because we know that a lot of places around us are very happy to get these data centers, but there's a lot of research out there that kind of tells us why we shouldn't have them. And so, again, this is just an introduction, but if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to answer. Also, all the local media, Clarion Ledger, WJTV, WLBT, WABT, they've all covered this, okay? All right, item 10.
Ordinance of the City of Jackson, Mississippi, reenacting Jackson, Mississippi Code of Ordinances, Article 2, Section 86-51 through 86-62.
All right, again, this is an introduction. Councilman Stokes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, the curfew will not expire until September, but I think it's good to start discussing and talking about it now with the new chief of police. We need to find which direction she wants to move. I had a chance to go to the funeral of the young man that was killed with the young lady. Very, very, very sad funeral. Preacher talked about a lot of different things. One thing he said, we got to protect these children. We cannot allow children to be in harm's way. This curfew is a way. It's utilized during school hours when we're seeing young people out here on the streets not going to school. And during the week, there's a lot of bad folks in this city. And a lot of them are using young people, they're using children to commit crimes. The curfew, it's not the panacea, but it's a step in the right direction. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Colleagues, we're going to move to item 13, claims.
Order approving claims appearing at pages 307 to inclusive thereon on municipal docket of claims in the amount of $3,587,607.49 for and making appropriation for the payment thereof.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. CFO Caldwell, large claims, please.
Jillian Caldwell, CFO. The four largest claims are as follows. Public Employees Retirement System, $571,021.06 for the payment to transfer taxes April 2026 from Fund 55, the Disability Relief Fund. The second largest claim is to Entergy. The amount is $404,432.72 for the payment of the street lights March 2026 from Fund 1, General Fund. The third largest claim is to Metro Jackson Convention and Visitors Bureau. The amount is $316,767.32 for the payment to transfer taxes April 2026 from Fund 203, Jackson Convention and Visitors Bureau Fund. The fourth largest claim is to River City Hydraulics, Inc. The amount is $229,593 for the payment of the TL3 Lightning Loader Knuckle Boom Truck from Fund 1, General Fund.
All right, thank you. Colleagues, are there any questions or comments about claims? Let's do Mr. Hartley first and then Mr. Stokes.
Hey, Ms. Caldwell.
Hello.
Okay. Entergy. Has anyone heard back from Entergy since our last meeting? A lot of the things we discussed was the lights out, and a bunch of other different issues. I'm wondering, have they responded officially to the city?
Mr. President,
Mayor.
This administration has expressed a lot of concern about the fact that we are paying for lights that don't work. Regardless of whether the street lights are operating or not, we still get a bill and we have to pay that bill. We have contacted a private audit firm that is looking at doing an audit, performing an audit of not only our street lights, but also traffic lights in the city. And we are expecting, it's going to take a little while for them to finish the audit, but once we have gotten that finished product, we expect to have a sit down with Entergy to try to work out an arrangement where we can get reimbursed for some of the costs that we are incurring that we don't think we should be paying for right now.
Excellent, and they promised that they will send us itemized list, the way it breaks down for us, their bill. Also, I have some safety concerns in my area, and I have pictures and et cetera. Also, quarter-mile stretch from Highway 80 down to Lynch, there's 5 street lights out. And again, I will be, as head of the Public Works Committee, I will be addressing this issue directly to them, if not to them, also to our Public Service Commission as well.
Mr. Stokes?
Thank you. Mr. President, I think everyone concerned about energy, Mr. Mayor, we thank you for your leadership. Recently, we have seen the gas company, Atmos, out in the neighborhoods, checking for gas leaks midnight, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Surely, if the gas company can come out looking for gas leaks, energy can come out and identify lights that's out into these neighborhoods. They used to do it, and they stopped. So we'll support you in the direction that you're trying to go to make sure we get their attention. We're prepared if we had to go to court and file a suit. I think Clinton, the city of Clinton did it. Hopefully they will realize that it's better to work with the city than work against the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions or comments about claims? Well, Ms. Clay and then Mr. Foote.
I have a comment about energy. On the streetlights, I realize there are plenty of streetlights out in the city of Jackson. But I think we as citizens should be reporting these lights that are out to Energy, because when Energy came, they told us how many reports they had, and it was not a large number. And you don't have to get out there and get the poll number or anything else. You can tell Energy an address when a street light is out. So I don't think it's feasible for the city of Jackson to pay for a study or an audit for anybody to tell us how many street lights are out. When we met, COA Teveson told us that there were people that didn't necessarily have a lot to do in the city, and maybe they could look at what lights were out. The fire department has said that they can look while they're out. I'm sure the police department can look while they're out. And if there are lots of lights in one area, I'm sure Energy will do something. I think we can be cost effective, and I'm not a big supporter of Energy, but I think we need to use our dollars wise, and I think other cities and citizens report when lights are out. So nobody should be saying that a light is out and it hadn't been reported as a citizen.
The audit by the private firm is not costing the city a dime.
All right, Mr. Foote?
I was going to ask about the audit firm and the fact that they hadn't been brought to us for the contract. Can you give us more information about the nature of how they get compensated for doing the audit?
They will be compensated by the savings that are experienced by the city as we make an approach to Entergy to talk and share with them the kinds of outages that we're having. And at that point, it's the savings that the city will enjoy that will be from that which this audit firm will be paid. But the audit, they have not, there is no contract as such right now.
So will we pay them the savings, or will the city save the money?
No, we'll get the savings, and in part, we'll probably wind up having to pay them a small amount of that.
So we'll split the savings? So why not use the free labor?
I don't think that we can not do both. I think you can do both.
Anything that we're paying for at this point in the city of Jackson, that we have people that can do it, and we talking about furloughing people, we should be letting them do whatever it is. I don't care if they split the cost or not. I work 100% on commission, and I know how commission works. So I don't think that's a good idea.
Let me make a follow-up here, and that is that I'm all for doing an audit, because I felt for a long, long time that we were getting, a poor deal from Entergy, but I would like to have some interface with the folks that are doing the deals. I'd like, if they could come brief one of the committee meetings, whether it's
Sure,
public
we can
safety or
do that.
whatever, I would really appreciate that, so I have a better sense of what's going on and what the opportunities
The
are.
only cost that the city will have to entertain, if that, is if we decide that we want to move forward with Entergy to try to enlist these folks' help in collecting money that we think that we may be owed. It's at that point that a contract would be entered into. But I'd be happy to get you in front of, or the auditors in front of the members of the council that want it.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Hartley?
Yeah, just one quick comment, Ms. Garwell. Aren't we paying upward to about $5 million a year to Entergy? $400,000 is the average, so it's up towards $5 million. If an audit can help us reduce that, and was clear from the last meeting with Entergy, we did not understand the total invoice, and that's what prompted my question, have we got in response to them responding? This is a great deal of money. And for so I, again, as Public Works Chair, I am questioning, do they have the right infrastructure in place? Are they doing the right maintenance schedule? Is everything functioning okay for our $5 million a year? And so I wholeheartedly support us going in and asking those questions and possibly seeing if we can't reduce the price.
Councilman Hartley, we're paying Entergy close to $10 million a year. If you count the cost of lighting our structures that are owned by the city. The $4 to $5 million is just on street lights and traffic lights.
And yet I have broken poles in my area. And I understand that the thing of, hey, yes, the average citizen can go out, read the poll, and call it in. but there's a large number of just street lights that it takes manpower. And I hope they would use their team in order to facilitate that, since we are paying them so much money.
I got a follow-up question, Mr. President.
We have Mrs. Clay
Okay.
and then Mr. Foot.
Is it possible for us to get a copy of the energy bills that they have sent us? And I will follow up. I brought energy to see that they send the information that they said, but I think the information has been sent to us already. It has been sent to us. The information has been sent to us. So I think we as a council needs to sit together again and look at that bill and analyze that bill and see what we're talking about before we go pointing fingers if we've been supplied the information.
All right, I'll send you a copy of the slide presentation of all the infrastructure breakdowns, and I will address this to the Public Service Commission and the Public Utility Commission for investigation as well.
All right, colleagues.
I got one follow-up
Oh, I'm
question.
sorry, Mrs. Foot, go ahead.
As, on the, for Ms. Caldwell, on the funds that we pay, whether it's $10 million, however much, how much of that comes out of the general fund?
Approximately 67 million comes out of the general fund.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions about claims? Hearing none, all in favor? 7-0, thank you. Payroll?
Order approving gross payroll, including payroll deduction claims number 34004, and make an appropriation for the payment thereof.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about payroll?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, in terms of the police department, some of the officers' vests deadlining. They used to have organizations that would help buy vests and do those kind of things. I don't know if they have slowed down or what's going on. But can we check with these organizations, somebody, to make sure we can get a handle on how many vests are deadlining and how can we get them some vests?
Yeah, I'll get with the chief and get advice from her as to what's needed in terms of bullet protective vests, and if we have a need for getting more, and seeing if we can get some volunteers and philanthropists to help us with that deficit.
Now, the organizations they had in the past, I think they still exist, so there should be a budget that they need to, turn over some of that money to the city to get more vests.
Sure, we'd be happy to look at that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, are there any questions about payroll? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. Item 15.
Order authorizing the City of Jackson to release the titles for city-owned vehicles to buy auction online by Gov.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? 16.
Order amending the October 21st, 2025 order which authorized the mayor or his designee to apply for a grant of $2 million in response to the United States Department of Economic Development Administration's FY 2025 Disaster Supplemental Notice of Funding Opportunity to increase the amount of funding sought to $20 million.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? 7-0, thank you. 17.
Order increasing the hourly rate for the mayor's summer youth employment program participants from $8.25 an hour to $9.65 an hour.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and properly second. Questions or comments?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Junior, Mr. Mayor, how many summer workers are we gonna have this summer?
100. Toya Martin, HR Director. This is for 100 student workers.
Will some work in council offices, or do we already have a place where they're gonna go?
Yes, what needs to happen is the clerk of council would just reach out to the Department of Human and Cultural Services and request the number of summer workers they would like to have in the department, and they'll send them. They'll be stationed over here in the clerk of council's office.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any more questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? All right, 18.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute a professional services agreement with Artisan Pyrotechnics, Inc. to provide a firework display for the city's 4th of July celebration being held on Wednesday, July 1st, 2026 at Smith Wheel Stadium, and approving payment for said fireworks display.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Questions or comments?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, not to be a Scrooge, but they had started having private companies to pay for the fireworks. Are they not gonna do it this year?
I'm not aware of what has happened in the past. As I understand it, the Juneteenth celebration has private supporters who provide for that, and for whatever reason, this matters before the council. But I'm not sure what has happened in the past.
Pamela Junior, Director of Human and Cultural Services. Yes, Juneteenth is through Downtown Partners, but the July 1st event will be paid by, we wanted it to be paid by the city. We don't have a donor to pay for that one.
Did we used to have a donor? They backed out?
Not for the July 1st event.
Ms. Clay?
Being that this is the 250th anniversary, there are a lot of grants out there, so I think maybe we should be looking at a grant or something instead of spending $10,000 on fireworks. And I think we got plenty of people in the city of Jackson that are saying that they want to do something for the city of Jackson. So I think maybe we should table this and come back after we figure out who can help us pay for it.
Is that a motion?
Table
I'll
this
second
until
that.
we find
All right, so moved and properly second to table this item. Any questions or comments about tabling this item? All in favor? 7-0. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Junior.
Mr. President, Peter Taylorson, CAO, we're going to pull item 19. Now, I want to assure the public we are going to have a youth golf program this summer. This program is set to begin June 1st. We put this on the agenda. We have more than enough lead time. We need to modify the agreement slightly. We'll put it on the first May agenda, and we will still be on track to have a junior golf program this summer. Thank you.
All right, thank you, and that is noted. Colleagues, those of you who made the motion and the second for item 18, I will need you to withdraw.
I'm not sure who made that. I withdraw.
Why you need a
Proper.
I take my second.
Not your amendment, the motion itself. Well, it wasn't an amendment, but yeah. All right. They both did it? All right, thank you. I just want to be sure. 19 has been pulled. 20? Yes.
Order accepting the quote and authorizing the mayor to execute a catering agreement with Soul to Go LLC to provide catering services for the Jackson Police Department Training Academy during 12 weeks of training, April 26, 2026 through July 17, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions or comments about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? Ms. Clay, how do you vote? Okay.
No, Mr. President.
6-1-0.
No.
You're a no?
Yeah, I'm a no.
Okay, 5-1-0. All right.
Mr. President,
Yes,
she abstained, right? 5-1-1.
that's a 0. 5-1-0.
Okay, let me say this. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, City. Eddie Soul Food, which is in my ward, they were so thankful to have an opportunity to almost win this contract. They have never really been considered before, and the doors are opening up for new businesses. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Item 21.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute a professional engineering agreement with Neil Schaefer, Inc. to modify the existing permit for the Northern Cell, Cell 1, with issue regulations from the Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality in the amount of $77,000.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Questions or comments about this item?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Anderson, my concern about Neil Schaefer, and I know that Hibbert Neal is no longer there. It seemed like from what it's only hearsay, that the hate or dislike that Neil Schaefer discussed against the city of Jackson put a bad taste in my mouth. But to make it even worse, it's my understanding they're getting ready to move out the city. We cannot keep spending money, city money, with people who dislike the city, hate the city, move out the city, and taking our tax money with them. You know, I know over the years, Hibbert Neal and others, what they did through Washington and everything else, but they kicked him out too. So I'm not gonna vote for this. There's too many companies that want Jackson to grow, that's trying to help this city, versus companies that's trying to hurt this city, bad mouth us, but yet take our money. That's not right. Thank you.
And if I might address that, Councilman Stokes and Mr. President, we share those same concerns that you have just voiced. In this particular case, this would be the continuation of a contract, and we're more concerned really with the subcontractor of this contract, a firm called Burns and Cooley, that has the institutional knowledge about this northern cell that we're trying to get expedited to be open. And we felt that in the interest of trying to expedite this northern cell being opened as quickly as possible, that we would go ahead and hold our nose and go ahead and execute this extension of a contract that's already in existence.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Councilman Harley been fighting for many years for this northern cell, which will help us with garbage and everything else. And I just hope that there would be a conversation between the city of Jackson, your office, with them about the hate that's taking place against this city. All of a sudden, Matt Height, I want to say they left from where Blackwell, but they bought the Ford place. But we seeing more and more of these high-priced companies leaving. And we need sales tax badly. And it's good to say that when you look at these automobiles, a Porsche that left costs a lot more than a Volkswagen. And we need Porsche money. So I hope we'll have a conversation with Neil Schaefer, where this hate is coming from. Now, I can understand what we're trying to do with the sale, but they need to back off the hate and they moving out and those kind of things. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions or comments on item 21? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? All right. What's the count? 5-1. Ms. Clark, Mr. Clay, Ms. Clay, you're in here. How do you vote? You abstain. 5-1-0. All right, thank you. All right, item 22, and colleagues, we will be going to executive session very soon.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute supplemental agreement number 1 to the contract with APAC Mississippi, Inc. for resurfacing McDowell Road extension from Highway 18 to Raymond Road, STP-8288-00, 004 LPA 109-285, 701000, Hines County.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and properly second. Questions or comments about this item? Hearing none, all in favor? 7-0. Thank you. They did a good job, too. 23.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute a second addendum to extend the contract to the preliminary engineering services contract with Stantec Consulting Services, Inc. for the trail along the abandoned Little J Railroad at Utica Street from Highway 80 to Valley Street, DHP-8276-00003, LPA 104-587-813000, Hines County.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? 7-0. Thank you. 24.
Order accepting the bid of West Coast Services LLC for city right-of-way maintenance services for a 12-month term with the option to extend for an additional 12 months for Ward 7 and accepting alternate bid of Redmond Cleaning and Lawn Services LLC.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Questions or comments? All right, hearing none, all in favor? 7-0. Ms. Clay, how you vote? Okay, thank you. 25.
Order authorizing the compromise and settlement of the workers' compensation claim pending in MWCC number 1701301-P3691-E20.
So moved.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Questions or comments about this item? Hearing none, all in favor?
Abstain.
601. 26.
Order reviewing and continue August 29, 2022 state of emergency.
All right.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly second. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstain. 27.
Order reviewing and continue state of emergency.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed?
Abstain.
All right. Item 28.
Order of the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi, hiring attorney Deshaun T. Martin and Martin & Martin, PA attorneys and counsel as independent special counsels for and to the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi.
So moved.
Second.
That's moved and properly second. Before I give Mr. Stokes the mic, colleagues, you should have received an email from the clerk of council that came from the city attorney. Mr. Stokes?
Mr. President, we should be able to get him on the phone. He's on the phone. Want me to-
You can go ahead though, Mr. Stokes.
We can start, okay. Mr. President, this item is extremely important. It's important because many of the citizens who are experiencing water problems in this city, they're looking for council members for help. Many of these citizens that's looking to the council for help are blaming council members. We must roll up our sleeves and get in this fight. When we think about the governor signed a law that I believe we should challenge, and we think about all the things that these citizens have suffered with, $50,000 water bill, $100,000 water bill, $5,000 water bill, and we know the citizens are not using that much water. It's up to us to stop the bleeding. I believe by us hiring the law firm, Martin & Martin, it's a step in the right direction. We cannot sit back and watch these things take place and not go to court and ask for some kind of relief. A hearing soon probably will be held about the airport. People concerned about us losing the airport, possibly. About to lose the water. The board that made up of the board is a board that's gonna be anti-Jackson. It's moved from where Jackson would have some kind of authority and control to the governor has as many appointees as the city. And we know how that's gonna work out. Win, lose, or draw, we must fight. And we must fight for our citizens. People deserve to have water. And a lot of people understand that this has been a con game from the beginning. If they're saying that we have people not paying water bills, then why not use meter readers? It worked in the past. They read your meter, they knew who was getting water and things of that nature. But for the governor to sign this legislation that's gonna hurt this city, and ain't nothing we're gonna be able to do for years and years and years, we must fight. We must fight, Mr. President. We must fight. We must fight. And we cannot allow anyone to tell us we cannot. The city council is more than a rubber stamp. I'm gonna leave it there, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Hartley, and then City Legal.
I agree with my colleague 100%. A lot of times, you know, we get pushed around, we get beat into a corner, and we are quiet. I believe that Mr. DeJohn Martin takes us away from that. He will fight back. I believe now is that time. Now is critical. We're talking about losing our water system that we will continue to have to pay the debt on. We're talking about 89% of the folks that pays into it won't be represented. Taxation without representation. It's wrong. So we need a champion out there. We need a David out there saying, hey, we're going to take the fight to you. And so I'm not sure what the lawyer is going to say and chime in, and I'm sure the budget folks are going to chime in, but I'm telling you right here and now, we need somebody to step up. Now it's that time. They come too comfortable with us. Us not doing anything, not being that voice and just bending over here. Jackson Water going around charging some seniors $50,000, $20,000, $10,000, and you got to pay $5,000 just to get into the payment plan. What happened there? Was there no red flags up front? We need relief, and we need somebody out there championing these things, or else they're going to continue to do the same thing and changing it from Jackson, from the feds, who has not fixed issues, to the state, who has a lesser chance of fixing issues, is not going to help us. We want the issues fixed.
Legal.
Look, Mr. President, before legal say what they're gonna say, Mr. President, we about to lose the airport, maybe. We done lost water, sewer. We almost done lost police, because you got Capitol Police in here now. We done lost the judges, because Capitol Police take their people to another court, not the municipal court. And anybody who paying money, the money will not come to the city. Now we about to lose water and sewer. There's not gonna be anything left for the city to have and run. We got to fight, win, lose, or draw. And Councilman Clay said, let's refer to him as a firm. It's a firm. But we cannot allow them, the city of Jackson, to nitpick terminology and prevent us as a council from moving forward to save our citizens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Go ahead, Mr. Chairman. I got a question.
Sure.
Before we unleash the attorneys. On this whereas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth whereas says, whereas there exists a direct and specific conflict between the office of the mayor of the city of Jackson, Mississippi, and the city council of Jackson, Mississippi. I'm not sure what I understand.
Well, the conflict is not an imagined conflict. It's just simply saying that the mayor's office could, through the legal department, file a suit, which is not happening. And the city council should not be prevented from protecting the citizens. If the mayor's office and the legal department would not file a suit, then the city council needs to hire some lawyers.
Okay, so what I'm trying to get to is, this sounds like something from the last time we hired Mr. Deshaun Martin, which I was very pleased with his service for the city. But it's not clear to me who the adversary is. Are we trying to undo the legislation?
Yes.
Well,
Are we going after the governor?
well, what we doing, we put in here that said council is authorized to take all actions necessary and appropriate to protect the legal interests of the city council and the
Okay.
citizens of Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay, but who's our adversary? This would suggest that it's the mayor. The mayor's not our
No, we're
adversary.
not suing the mayor.
Who we sue? Who
Well, we
suing?
preparing to sue anybody we have to sue, but it ain't gonna be the mayor.
Okay.
Jason Neighbors, Office of the City Attorney. So City Attorney Drew Martin circulated a legal opinion earlier today with regard to this agenda item. But in regard to potential litigation and who we're going to sue and what our claims are, that's something that needs to be addressed in executive session, by legal anyway.
So in brief, just for the record, what did the email say?
Can we hire a firm versus an individual?
Can we hire a firm versus an individual? We can engage outside counsel, but if you're asking me what the email said, it's the opinion of the city attorney that hiring an attorney by the city council itself is not legal. And the reason for that is there are a number of attorney general opinions that have said that. And so we rely on those opinions, some of which involve the city of Jackson, in our opinion, that doing it this way is not legal.
Well, question, Mr. President. Do we not hire other attorneys, law firms to do other things?
Yes, as outside counsel.
Plenty of them, right?
Yes, sir.
So give me the language that will make this item the same as the others.
We can work on that, if that's the decision of the council and the administration.
And my understanding is that we can put forth an order, right, for the administration, but unless the council is conflicted with the administration, we cannot legally hire a lawyer.
As the council itself,
Right.
yes. That's the opinion of the
But
city attorney.
individual council members can.
Yes,
out
I
of their
believe that's
pocket.
correct.
Okay. All right.
Repeat that so everybody can hear.
The council as a whole is not allowed to hire its own attorney.
But?
I mean, an individual can hire his or her own attorney, certainly.
All right, but we have had outside attorneys.
Yes, as outside counsel. It's a different process. So the administration and the council, if everybody's in agreement for hiring an outside counsel, we've done this in numerous cases over the years.
Let's do that.
That's what we
Okay,
asked.
that's what we
he
want.
asked.
Okay.
But keep in mind, because they're not giving us the law and letting us see all this. My understanding, May 1, they got to have these board members in. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what the governor is asking for, the board to be seated by 1 May.
May 1. Come on, leader, talk to me. Is that correct?
I think that's correct.
Well, you got to let us know, because the public hearing it too, and we know May 1 is just a few days from now.
Why so quick?
And we don't want the same thing happened before, talking about we missed the deadline.
We don't want.
So how can you change this language to make it fit?
Well, we'll discuss it. I'd rather discuss it in executive session if we're talking about potential litigation.
Okay.
Well, let
Last
me get
question.
Mr. Mark when we can.
Ms. Clay?
If you change the language, can we have a special meeting and vote on the language change?
That's not up to me.
You understand the question. Is it legal for us to do it?
To have a special meeting?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, I
And-
believe
and
it is.
So if we can't vote on this because the language isn't right, then you get the language to us in the next couple of days, and we have a special meeting and we vote on the language. That's what we're asking you to do. Correct
Yes,
it
ma'am.
for us and let us vote on it.
Understood.
All right, so y'all will withdraw your motion in your second,
Okay.
or we go vote?
No, I withdraw.
And I withdraw.
Well, I asked the question. All right, so both have been withdrawn. Clerk, you got it?
So we're gonna get the language
Mm.
timely to council members so we can call a special meeting. All right, thank you.
All right, 29.
Resolution of the Jackson City Council regarding the review of the Metro Jackson Water Authority Act, existing federal court orders, and available legal and regulatory options.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. Mr. Hartley?
Yes, this is a resolution basically that's authorizing us to move forward with requests from various state agencies that are independent to get assessments data. This data will involve the problems we're having with our billing system. It'll involve just different other operational things, utility cuts, and everything. We need to be informed. To date, we have not had one single person from the state, from the governor's office, from the Senate, from the House, to come before this body and brief us on anything. This ensures transparency. This ensures we get all the information to make the right decisions moving forward.
Amen.
And tomorrow, we will have a public works meeting at 1:30. And we'd like to, I'm assuming Mr. Martin will be there, our attorney. He can give us the main elements of this act and possibly.
Yes, he will.
I'm sorry?
Yes, I will.
Okay, excellent. 1:30 tomorrow. And we would invite any representatives or state officials to be here as well so they can listen in.
Excuse
But
me,
this is
Mr.
for us to.
Hartley, Mr. Hartley, excuse me. Who was that?
That was Drew Martin.
That was not Drew.
That was Attorney Deshaun Martin.
No, he was asking Mr. Drew Martin. We got two
Okay,
Martins.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Thank you.
Okay, but anyway, the meeting tomorrow, the legal department will be briefing us on this act, and we'll take it from there. I'll put out an entire agenda on that.
All right, any more questions or comments about item
Mr.
29?
President?
Yes, sir.
Mr. President, I support everything that Councilman Hartley just stated. I've asked time and time and time again, where is the $800 million? I haven't got an answer yet. Somebody got to tell us if $800 million came in here to fix this water system and it's still broke, where's the money? And who got paid all the money? They getting ready to leave out here with all our money. We need to know how much money in the bank and who received this money. We're in the blind. How in the world we the council? And we should know about the money. We know absolutely nothing. It's not right. It's not fair to these citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions or comments about item 29? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? 7-0. All right, thank you. 30.
Order authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Jackson Hart Foundation to assist the city of Jackson with care and maintenance of the museum trail.
So moved.
Second.
Moving and properly second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor? 7-0. Thank you. All right, colleagues, we have a beautiful lady here who is being honored for her 95th birthday. So we're going to go ahead and skip down to resolution, which is item 44.
Amen.
Do it.
Resolution of the City Council of Jackson, Mississippi, honoring Gertrude Geis Johnson upon the celebration of her 95th birthday.
Amen. Ooh, she clean. I'm looking for a wife.
Good evening, you all, and thank you. I wanted to personally do a resolution for one of the oldest members in my ward. She also is a mother of my church, New Greater Cannon Creek, also pastored by Dennis Williams. And I just want to honor her because she is loving. She gives the most warmest kisses, the most warmest hugs, and she's very jazzy every Sunday, every Sunday. And to live 95 years is a blessing, you all. Some people don't make it 20. And with that, my mother always told me, give you your flowers while you're still here. So in my honor and my clerk and behalf of the city council, I would like to present you with this resolution and flowers.
I thank all of you. Cause I don't know. I just had to believe what my parents told me. Thank you. Am I right? Yes.
And I'm so sorry. She brought her whole family with her. I am so sorry. And if you don't mind, we all will come up here and take a picture.
Coach, you all right?
Don't keep her moving, y'all.
Hey, Coach, you all right? Good seeing you now.
That's your.
How you doing?
Every time I call a pastor, this is what happens.
How you doing?
All these triplets. Triplets, they all look just alike. Mother got the strong teeth. No. I'm gonna let y'all fight that out. Can you see Lachey? Okay.
I hear baby.
Look that way, y'all.
Boy, you looking good. I hear you.
Yes, sir. Take it.
God bless you.
Resolution honoring Mrs. Gertrude Johnson upon the celebration of her 95th birthday. Whereas Mrs. Gertrude Johnson, born April 9, 1931, in Jackson, celebrates an extraordinary milestone of 95 years of life, faith, and service, and throughout those years has been a cherished member of her family, church, and community. And whereas through Gertrude's union with Isaac Johnson, she is the proud matriarch of a loving family that includes 7 children, 7 grandchildren, and 12 great-grandchildren. And she is widely known as a nurturing mother and grandmother who affectionately calls her grandchildren her sweet darlings, demonstrating the deep love and devotion she has always shown to her family. And whereas Mrs. Johnson is a devoted member of Greater New Caney Creek Missionary Baptist Church, where she faithfully serves as a church mother, participates in Sunday school and the mission ministry, and lovingly gives communion each first Sunday to her son Sylvester and his family, reflecting her enduring faith and spiritual leadership. And whereas Mrs. Johnson also participates in the church Adopt a School initiative and is regarded as a living archive who proudly preserves and shares the history of her church, family, and community, using her gift of storytelling to pass down wisdom, memories, and encouragement to younger generations. And whereas Mrs. Johnson is admired for her stylish hats and elegant attire, her warm smile, and her strong, loving hugs that leave a lasting impression on all who meet her, reflecting the kindness, grace, and hospitality that defines her character. And whereas Mrs. Johnson enjoys spending time with her family, including being chauffeured around town by her children and sharing meals together, moments that reflect the joy she finds in fellowship and togetherness. And whereas throughout her faith, wisdom, compassion, diligence, and devotion to family and community, Mrs. Johnson exemplifies the virtues described in Proverbs 31, 10 through 31, a woman clothed with strength and dignity, whose life reflects kindness, generosity, wisdom, and service, and whose children and community rise to call her blessed. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Councilwoman Brown Thomas, along with my council colleagues, do hereby honor and celebrate Mrs. Gertrude Johnson on the occasion of her 95th birthday and commend her for the lasting impact she has made through her faith, her devotion to family, and her unwavering love for her church and community, done this 21st day of April 2026.
All right, thank you so much. We have that read for the record. All right, colleagues, we have 3 proclamations from the administration. While the mayor is moving over this way, let's go ahead and take out number 45.
Monthly financial reports as required according to Section 21-35-13 of the Mississippi Code, annotated of 1972.
All right, show of hands, you got your reports? All right, thank you. All right, proclamation, item 41.
Proclamation recognizing Workers' Memorial Day.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the council. I'd like to ask Ms. Courtney Bohannon, Regional Compliance Assistant Specialist for the U.S. Department of Labor, to join me at the podium. Mr. Bohannon, good evening. We're here tonight to remember the men and women who lost their lives or were injured while doing their jobs. Every worker deserves to be safe and make it home to their families. These losses are felt far beyond the workplace. They leave a lasting impact on families, friends, and the entire community. And that's why we have to stay focused on making places safer across Jackson through awareness, better practices, and accountability. It's my honor tonight to present this proclamation on behalf of the City of Jackson to Courtney Bohannon, Regional Compliance Assistant Specialist at the U.S. Department of Labor. Whereas through education, advocacy, and enforcement, as well as enforcement of safety standards, we can continue building a city where workers are valued, protected, and empowered to contribute their talents without fear of harm. Now, therefore, I, John Horn, Mayor of the City of Jackson, Mississippi, do hereby proclaim April 28th, 2026 as Workers' Memorial Day in the City of Jackson, and encourage all citizens, businesses, and institutions to observe this day in remembrance of those who've lost their lives on the job and in recognition of their shared responsibility for workplace safety. And Mr. Bohannon, it gives me great pleasure to present this proclamation to you in observance of your years of service in protecting workers. Congratulations. Mr. President, without any objection, we'd like to have Mr. Bohannon say a few words.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
As we said, my name is Courtney Bohannon. I'm the Regional Compliance Assistant Specialist for the Birmingham region of OSHA. I'd like to thank you for the Workers' Memorial Day proclamation. Your recognition of this important day honors the contributions and sacrifices of workers, while reinforcing the commitment to workplace safety and health. Every year around April 28th, we commemorate Workers' Memorial Day, a day to remember and honor America's workers that have been injured and who have lost their lives on the job. Let's work together to do all we can to put safety and health of the American worker first. Thank you for your support in this proclamation.
Thank you, Mr. Bohannon. Item 42, Mayor.
Proclamation recognizing Black Maternal Health Week.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the council. I'd like to ask Dr. Sandra Carr Melvin and the Institute for the Advancement of Minority Health and the Advancement of Minority Health if any other folks running initiatives like Baby Depot, the Rural Maternity Obstetrics Management Program, and Behavioral Health Support Services. Any other members are here with you, Doctor? All right, I'd like to ask them to join us at the podium. Mr. President and ladies and gentlemen of the council, I'd like to recognize Black Maternal Health Week in the city of Jackson. This is a time to speak clearly about crises that is costing Black women their lives and the honor the families living with that reality every day. And to honor, the families living with that reality every day. Across the United States, Black women are dying from pregnancy. Related causes at rates more than 3 times higher than white women. And Mississippi is amongst the hardest hit. Too many of these deaths are preventable, which means we have both the responsibility and the opportunity to change the story for mothers and babies in our city and across our state. Here in Jackson, we're grateful for partners who are doing that work on the ground every day. Dr. Sandra Carr Melvin and the Institute for the Advancement of Minority Health are leading with community-based education, advocacy, and programs that support mothers and families where they are. Through initiatives like Baby Depot, the Rural Maternity Obstetrics Management Program, and Behavioral Health Support Services, they're helping families to get the care, the resources, and the support that they need, especially in rural and underserved communities. I want to close by sharing the final language of this proclamation. It reads, whereas these programs help improve access to maternal health care, support healthy pregnancies, and promote healthier outcomes for mothers and their babies, now therefore I, John Horn, Mayor of the City of Jackson, Mississippi, do hereby proclaim April 11th through the 17th, 2026 as Black Maternal Health Week and encourage healthcare providers, community leaders, policymakers, and residents to support efforts that advance maternal health equity and improve outcomes for mothers and their babies. And Mr. President, if it's appropriate, I'd like to have Dr. Carr to make a few remarks.
Amen.
Before I formally say thank you, I'd like to acknowledge the people who are in the room with me that do the work every day. My program manager, Ms. Latasha Rice, is the Maternal and Child Health Program Manager for the Institute for the Advancement of Minority Health. I have my board vice chair, Mr. Nicholas Lott, here as well. He works for the City of Jackson, so we indirectly partner with the City of Jackson every single day. I also have my Director of Communications, Ms. Marilyn Reed, here with me. So I do have just a few short words. It's very short. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Institute for the Advancement of Minority Health, I sincerely thank the City of Jackson for this proclamation and for recognizing the importance of advancing health equity in our communities. This honor reflects not only our organization's work, but also the dedication of our partners, advocates, and the communities we serve. Every day, we are reminded that achieving equitable health outcomes requires collaboration, persistence, and a shared commitment to justice. We accept this proclamation with gratitude and with renewed resolve to continue addressing disparities, expanding access, and improving the quality of life for all. Thank you to the City of Jackson for this recognition and for standing with us in this vital work. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right.
President.
Yes, Mr. Stubb.
Mr. President, I think all of these proclamations are important and beautiful, but the last one brought to my attention that Dr. Smith with the clinic in West Jackson might not be the head of the clinic now. Now, he's still working, I understand, but he just might not be the head of the clinic. So it just showed that there's a transition with younger people, younger life, keeping these clinics going and saving people's lives. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good proclamation.
Thank you. And the final proclamation tonight is for the National Fair Housing Month Council remarks. And I'd like to ask Mr. Charles Harris, if Mr. Harris is still here. You one of them Harrises that got in trouble?
Yes, yes.
I will now recognize National Fair Housing Month in the city of Jackson. Fair housing is about something very basic, but very powerful. The chance for every family to find a safe, decent place to live. When people have that foundation, neighborhoods are more stable. This month, we remember Fair Housing Act of 1968, which made it clear that discrimination in housing has no place in this country. That law set a standard, and it's on all of us to live up to it in our own communities. Here in Jackson, housing, education, and economic development, better known as HEED, has been doing that work for more than 37 years. All right, Charles. They have helped residents understand their rights, protect their homes, and take real steps towards home ownership throughout the greater Jackson area and beyond. And that kind of support changes the trajectory of entire families. None of this would be possible without strong leadership, and under the visionary leadership of Mr. Charles Harris, he continues to champion equitable housing opportunities for all residents, setting an example of excellence and service that inspires collaboration across public, private, and nonprofit sectors. Now, therefore, I, John Horn, Mayor of the City of Jackson, Mississippi, do hereby proclaim April 2026 as National Fair Housing Month in the City of Jackson, and commend HEED and Mr. Charles Harris for their leadership, commitment, advocacy in promoting fairness, equality, and opportunity in housing for every citizen. And Mr. Harris, it gives me great pleasure to present this proclamation to you today. Mr. President, if allowed, I'd like to ask Mr. Harris if he would say a few words.
On behalf of he and his board of directors, we want to thank the city council and the Mayor Horn for presenting this proclamation. We don't take fair housing lightly, and we hope you don't take fair housing lightly. I just want to try to be brief and give you the history. I'm going to be concise. Dr. Martin Luther King, for numerous of years, went before Congress, asking Congress for an open house bill. Dr. King was a forerunner of fair housing. He called it open housing. For the number of years he approached Congress, they continued to put it on the back burner. They never brought it up to be voted upon. So from 1865 up until 1968, 102 years, there was no federal law that protected the individual in regard for fair housing. Dr. King was assassinated, you all know, April the 4th, 1968. April the 10th, President Johnson called Congress together. And April the 11th, they voted passing of the Fair Housing Act, and it was a slim victory. Due to the death and the assassination of Dr. King is the only reason why the Fair Housing Act was passed. So due to his death in April of 1968, from that particular time on, April has been designated as Fair Housing Month. So each year, agency who is certified by HUD as Fair Housing Agency commemorate that particular month. So this is the 37th year of commemorating April as Fair Housing Month. So on the 23rd and 24th, we will be having a Fair Housing and Fair Lending Conference here in Jackson. So that is the history of the fair housing, for calling it Fair Housing of April 1968. 58 years ago, 2 weeks ago, was the death of Dr. Martin Luther King. So now you know.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Thank you, Mr. President and members of the council.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
but for he, when Deposit Guarantee Bank was gonna close at 5 Points, and Charles Harris stopped it, we wouldn't have the banks at 5 Points today. He saved the banking area. The banks were gonna close, Trustmark and all of them. And Drew, his HEAT organization, because it's also deal with economic development, he was able to go through the banking rules and regulations and made sure that the banks followed these rules and regulations, and the banks are still there today. A lot of people, he's real modest. The federal government used to use and work with him in HEAT, where you had apartments that were discriminating, but blacks could not get in some of these different apartment complexes. It was HEAT they would use to go and prove up discrimination. Young man who started with the Urban League many years ago. And out of all the businesses that were there, he's one of the original businesses at that location that's still there on Meg Evans Boulevard. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, colleagues, I will take a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of going into executive session to discuss pending litigation.
So moved.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor? Opposed? All right. We are headed into executive session. If you're not party to this conversation, we kindly ask that you all exit the chambers. I know most of you will have well, I'm wishing you a good night, because I know you won't be coming back in. Clerks, please secure the chambers. We're live? We ready? All right. We are out of executive session. No official action was taken. Colleagues, we're going to move to discussion item 31. Mr. Tableson.
I apologize, Mr. President. On item 31, I had Alex Lawson here. I don't know if he is still here, but the council had asked me to put JRA on the agenda. I don't see him. I know he was here earlier. I will put this, and I don't know if y'all want to deal with it tonight. It was about all the properties. You had questions for JRA. I can easily put him on the next agenda if the council would prefer.
Let's just save that for the planning. We don't want to do that on discussion. Also, he sent us an email letting us know that he is the new director.
Correct.
So, you know.
I was going to say, I had a good talk with him right before the meeting started. If the council would give me an opportunity to talk with him a little further, I think we're going to have a new dialogue with JRA. And I agree, Mr. President, that putting this in the appropriate committee would be the answer. And in the meantime, Mr. Lawson and I will visit in person.
Perfect, thank you. And I encourage council members to do the same. 32,
Okay.
customer service, Ms. Hartley.
Yeah, briefly. Right now, Mr. Mayor, the honeymoon is definitely over, if there was one. And I think that we need to have an increased effort on our responses when folks call in. I'm not sure if it was you or someone else that said that we were going to have folks pick up the phone within 3 rings. But we need to have folks to be more trained in customer service, and we need to respond better, okay? And that's one of the things I'm hearing from the constituents. The next thing is constituency meetings. I realize we have.
That's item 33. Does anybody else have anything for 32? All right, you have something to say?
Yeah, I'll just add to that. I did have a neighborhood leader who had requested if the city can establish email response protocol, you know, within 48 hours of receiving a message, even if it's just to acknowledge receipt and say, I'm still looking into this, but I've received it. A neighborhood leader has requested if the administration would consider setting an internal policy for employees of acknowledging emails within 2 or 3 business days, however you want to handle it.
And perhaps.
Well, we know that it's not where we want it to be just yet. But I'll say this, when folks got used of not having any response. Now they're getting some response, and it's like the more you do, the more folks want you to do.
It's true.
So it's no good deed goes unpunished. We're trying to get to it, but we know there's some more work to be done.
And if we could have someone from HR to just make sure that that's a significant part of our training program and policy.
Yeah, well, we have, actually, a woman has reached out to provide a free service to the city on customer service training. So we're probably going to take her up on that.
I appreciate that. And sir, the other item was concerning constituent meetings. I was told that some folks can't come out, some department heads or employees can't come out to meetings because of cuts in fuel or overtime or somewhat. But there are certain meetings that are definitely important. We need representation at all the COPS meetings. That's where neighborhood leaders come together. So if we can definitely have a constituent service person or a department head like with planning or code enforcement or things of that nature, we need somebody at these meetings. I am getting beat up and I can't answer for why that thing wasn't picked up. And so we definitely need that participation at all COPS meetings, okay? And major meetings that involve multi-community, community neighborhood leadership. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Anything else on 33? All right, we're gonna move down to 36, Jackson Water, Mr. Foote.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've got items, they got 35 down here, Jackson Water, and 36 PSC, Public Service Commission. I'd like to cover those as one item. I'll start with my ongoing conversation I've been having with Councilman, it used to be Councilman Stamps, but now it's Public Service Commissioner Stamps. And he's been on that role now, I guess, for his second term. And so he has shared with me that we've got the Jackson Water System has 4,100 customers that live in Byram or Ridgeland, I believe it is, that because they are 1 mile outside outside the city limits, their rates are set by the Public Service Commission. And
which is just the way the law is set up. And so all the stuff we've gone through over the past, since I've been on the council with rates and stuff doesn't really affect them. And he told me that these people are paying around $10 a month because they have not had a rate reset since 1970s on their water system, even though they're using our water system. But they're only paying $10 a month versus different rates that we're paying. And that what's needed is for a request to the Public Service Commission to do a rate revisit and reset, but it needs to come from the people controlling the water system. So I talked to Stephanie Taylor, who is at the Public Service Commission, about this, and she said, well, and we talked about who is actually running the water system right now. Obviously, Jackson Water is. So she needed to talk to Ted Hennepin. So I gave her the contact information. She said she would reach out to Ted Hennepin. So the point is, we have a vested interest in making sure Jackson Water gets as much money as they can in revenue, particularly if it's coming from Byram or Ridgeland or wherever, from customers there. So if Mr. Stamps is correct, I assume he is, if they're paying $10 per 4,100 customers, paying $10 a month, that works out to $41,000 a month. If you multiply that times 12 months, you end up with they're paying in $492,000 annually, these 4,100 customers. But if the Public Service Commission were to revisit this and say a fair rate would be, let's just assume $50, the revenue, that changes the revenue dramatically. Per month, $205,000, and then per annually, it'd be $2,460,000, or an additional $2 million that Jackson Water would be receiving. That's money that allows them to pay us more money back, whether it's garbage fees or whatever. So hopefully, we need to stay on top of this, and it's an opportunity to have a positive impact on our budget of around $2 million a year. So we need to pursue that in our goal to try to come up with $20 million. And I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. And I want to thank Public Service Commissioner Stamps for bringing it to my attention. And the lady, Stephanie Taylor, who's the General Counsel for the Public Service Commission, seemed very engaged and wanted to pursue this as well. So it's something that's a positive. We got to keep looking through the cracks in the sofa cushions to come up with the $20 million, and this is just something I wanted to bring to the attention of the council.
I appreciate that, Mr. Foote. He's also reached out to me, basically saying that the city or whoever has not come to him. But in my mind, I do believe that anyone who is on our water system should pay the same $40 availability fee, as well as the same rate for water. I think that's fair.
Yeah. But it needs to be, it's not Ted's decision, it's the Public Service Commission's decision. But it needs to be brought to them and requested that they update the water rates for the outlying communities that the system serves.
So who's responsible for bringing it? Since we are
It would be the judge and Ted Hennepin.
maybe we can request that. Mr.
Yes.
We did?
It was one of those items.
Yeah, didn't we, in our list of items that we requested that they take up, I believe one of them was that they request from the Public Service Commission that, exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'd like to get with you on that and just write down his notes, because he shared some other things with me, but not that. So let's see if we can move ahead with that. Okay? Let's talk about it, Mr. Butt.
All right. Brown Thomas, 38.
Thank you. We received calls from this lady, 120 Catalina Street. She advised 2 years ago, Atmos Energy came out to her location. They towed the concrete up the sidewalk. And we went out there, we took pictures, and thanks to Mr. Cardwell, he did go out there to see what's going on. But it go on deaf ears. She said this been going on for 3 years. She had to replace stuff in her house. This is an elderly woman. And I thought on a line item, which I checked, that we set aside for concrete, money for concrete, to fix the concrete. and she keeps calling my office. I'm getting cussed out, everything. So this need to be addressed. This lady been dealing with this for almost 3 years now.
Councilwoman Peter Tableson, this is the first time this address has come to my attention. I will tell you that Director Anderson and I met this morning on 4 other concrete projects and gave instructions to Mr. Caldwell to solicit quotes. We will add this on there as well. And then long-term, Director Anderson and Terry Williamson are going to prepare a term bid for concrete work so that we'll have 1 year at a time, we'll have a vendor lined up to do concrete work as soon as possible. But now that you gave it to us, council members, we expect to bring you back about 5 projects that need concrete work. We think all 5 of those total will be less than $75,000, but we'll add that to the list.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Harley.
Oh, yeah, there's, sometimes they're going through rapidly and they're doing work, Atmos is doing work. Sometimes if they damage your property, you need to, there are ways, there's remedies. Right now, I'm pursuing a case with my property where they broke a water line and then Jackson Water upped my bill. And so I'm trying to get that money back. But Bobby Morgan, the vice president of marketing or something, he is a good contact. He can tell you the supervisor in that area to write that complaint to. But if the city handle it, we expect to be reimbursed from Atmos.
Absolutely. If we know there was an entity or an individual, either one, who damaged city property, legal department and risk management will certainly look at a recovery.
Ms. Clark?
So have we contacted Atmos about this?
She said that she have. I think when I talked to Mr. Cardwell, I think they had looked into it just to make sure that Atmos was, but she's been dealing with it for 2 or 3 years, and she said they'll come out, but nothing be done.
I'll give you a contact at Atmos.
All right. Item 39, review and continuation of the COVID local emergency. Show of hands. All right, very good. Is there anything else come for this body at this time? All right. We're adjourned.